There. 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 X is here. Okay. X is here. Summon the Gremlin Watchers. Go into the domain as well.
Briefly interjecting to
Mhm.
tell Sylvan something that you can't hear otherwise. The reason I said not to use voiceless Sylvan is because people don't check voiceless while we're in call.
Yeah. It's easier to just use R20, less tabsing around.
Yes, please use R20 as someone who does not use voiceless at all.
Okay, links have been thrown around. Now we're just waiting for people to get in here. So let me just close my stuff up and we'll get this party started. Okay, so hey everyone, I'm Marcos, your wonderful GM. With me tonight we have Mio playing Io.
I
Lucine played by Iridium Sky.
She thinks she can stress me out. I think she's wrong.
We'll find out. Ashley played by Taco Cat.
I'm looking forward to what she has planned.
Thank you. Kirov played by Atomic Taco, aka Mon.
Borgor.
And last but not least, Siona Rin played by Sylvan Eldar.
Nice to be here.
Thank you. So last time the party had just gotten back to Ascalon after their first effective failed mission. Nobody died, but the target got away. The party is wet, the party is tired, the party is cold. So they got told to basically just go clean up and go to fuck to sleep. The debrief will be in the morning. I'm just gonna first move to Ascalon Command Center. I'm gonna update the timeline. Give me a second. I already did the Arc Dragon kills. Give me a second. Yes, I'm being a little pedantic about the timeline. It's very useful to keep track of this shit. Okay. Okay, yep. IC date is accurate. It is now the 12th of March. Well, this year. So, around let's say 10 in the morning, 10 or so in the morning, enough to give the entire, no, more around noon, enough to give the entire party time to get good sleep after that clusterfuck. Everyone is piled into the command center, Underboss, and it's same as always, same as always. Always, you guys know what it looks like at this point. Commander, once you're all in your seats, oh, right, don't forget to turn off the players. Thank you, Zal. Thank you for the reminder. Give me a second to do that. There we go. There we go. Players are now turned up. Thank you for reminding me, Zal. I almost forgot there. That would have been bad. So, once everyone's in and seated down, I'm just going to assume they just added a second table over here at some point, just so the sidekick, just so the sidekicks have a place to put their stuff. Give me a sec. That's like put that. Okay, that's the wrong fucking bus. Give me a second. I'm fighting R20.
I'm also having indeterminate issues with R20, but I'm here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it sounds like your connection's being fucky, Erie. Fuck it.
No, I mean, it's just, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
We can deal with it. So once everyone is sat down, taking their seats, Alexis is in a different outfit than what is on her token because he's still fucking drying hers off after getting dunked in the ocean. Commander Michigan is going to clear his throat. Well, I'm glad to see that all of you came back in one piece, but when I've heard it didn't go well.
Bastard could teleport and decided to run.
I
Missing a
found
notch.
the friend.
Is that in character, by the way?
Yes.
Sister Sophia looks at you worriedly.
Oh?
Yes, I know the dragon in question. It's great fun fighting friends. Especially when they snark at you in your head.
Awkwardly looking at Io.
What?
Scene is awkwardly looking at Io in some way. It's complicated flavor of look.
Anyways, I'm just gonna
What's
say.
up?
So, in response to that information, Alexander's going to perk up a little bit. I mean, technically, this is only the second dragon to actually try and run away, but he points a finger at Alexander's going to point a finger at Kirov. Kirov, from the sound of it, it's almost like this dragon was prepared.
Not for us specifically, but it seemed like this one had everything down pat.
Alexander's.
You will,
Oh.
you will raise a hand and not like the school raise hand, but like kind of the waving to get attention and then say, it's probably a mastermind type. You know, sit in a base, plan stuff out, make the base impenetrable, escalate infinitely by just sitting on its place.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely who he was.
Also, I have heard several people assume that because we took out a beacon, that the dragon cannot return. I would like to point out that masterminds probably won't just have one beacon.
I'm going to point out that my plan was always scry for information and then act.
I'm not protesting, I'm just pointing it out.
So,
That was
Lucine is
out of
still
character.
and
So
that didn't need to be brought up.
So Alexander's going to frown and turn to start murmuring about dragons don't normally plan for what the fuck happens if we lose. The Dark
Doesn't even
Lakes were for
if we
Strength's
lose.
minions. Conquest's minions pulled that right out, basically out of their ass from what we can tell, but this is the first time we've seen a dragon actually plan for this sort of scenario, which is he stops for a second. Concerning.
Nihilo was always like that.
Well, it's not even necessarily. It didn't plan to lose. It just planned that it wouldn't be enough. I don't even think it planned. It was a plan if it loses. I think the plan was that dragon could never win, and it knew, and was its plan, not win, because it didn't think it was worth the expenditure.
Commander
What?
Mustang's going. Oh. My God,
If I could have won, I was right. I was trying to explain what I was.
Yeah, no, you
Was
can do
that a
that. Sorry.
what?
Yes, that was a what? Like, he was visibly confused at this information.
Lucina
He
is awkwardly waving her hands, just trying to get the right set of words. You're looking at it like things went according to what seems to have been its primary plan. It's not
What?
that it planned for if it lost, not that it simply planned for if it lost, that planned for an opponent stronger than it.
I just think it had contingencies.
Yeah.
So Commander Mustang's going to
That's
chime in here. And still, this degree of foresight is new and new. New. Goldman. He points to the former rich guy.
I mean, he's probably
You-
so rich.
Yeah, it's not like money means anything anymore, though. Anyway, so Michigan's going to point at Mr. Goldman. From, from what was reported to me before they went to bed last night, the information about Underground was shit. Any idea why? Mr. Goldman's at that point to put a finger on his chin and sigh. I'm not entirely sure. My best guess is something about that teleport ward of it. Teleport ward of it was messing with the Overlook's cameras, hopefully by accident. Um,
I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it was intentional. This isn't you interjecting.
That was probably intended. If it is based anything on the person it killed, that's simply the only plausible outcome.
Sister Sophia is going to nod and flickering her gaze between Lucine and I as she considers something, but she's not going to speak up just yet. Still, Commander Mission's going to then wave a hand. Well, to be honest, a failure like this was bound to happen anyways. We're lucky it just didn't happen against an Orc Dragon and none of you got killed. Still, as such, we've been running you. Shifting Squadron has been being run a little bit ragged, so once we go through the latest round of global information Mr. Goldman's gathered, I'm going to order the entire squadron onto a rest day.
Only
Especially
one.
Lucine. He says, just nodding at her.
They're saying this at the same time.
He just stares at you. You a moment before Mr. Goldman gets up and walks to the big map screen and starts pulling shit up. So there's currently 5 Arc Dragons remaining. Wait, before I go into quick question out of character, Eerie, Lucy, your questions about the Pacific stuff. Did Lucina ask those in character? Just off
Yes.
screen? Okay, I couldn't remember. I just wanted to double check. So,
Yes, that was basically that was attempting to get planning info.
see, Mr. Goldman pulls up the big map of the globe from stitched together from Overwatch's last 24 hours of video. Based on what I've been able to determine with Commander Michigan's help, things. Well, if I remember your Squadron's plan correctly, you're intending to engage the Arc Dragon. Arc Dragon with that seems to be dominant over the entirety of the ocean, correct?
Oh, Pacific Ocean, but yes, that's the plan.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. I forgot to. I was going to tag this as done. Wait a second. Tag as done. So, so Mr. Gomez going to tap onto the Pacific, zoom in. First thing you notice is the giant fucking trash island practically glowing with the dragon factor. From what we can tell, the oceanic arc dragon's influence is mostly concentrated in the central Pacific, but Pacific centered around the Trash Island, which we are still trying to come up with a name for. He takes a moment to catch your breath. And to go into the rest of your questions about the area, I can easily fit them into this briefer. So, with the recordings we've been able to gather so far, the current consensus between me and Commander Michigan is that the Arc Dragon is in possession of, well, a proper navy. To be specific, let me just grab my notes out of character. 6 fleets. Let me just set that out. Where the fuck's the faction sheets? There they are. There. The first fleet, from what we can tell from the large cluster Dragon Factor signals differ from signals of the normal draconic type clustered on the island. We believe is simply guarding the Trash Island. Second, he scrolls over to Japan, which is kind of just a mess of various signals. The second fleet appears to be stationed in the ocean of Japan, and I'd wager and from what we can tell, I would wager it is busy between a mix of attempting to make strikes upon the island itself and getting into blows with the Ark Dragons to have control over China and Russia. In honest, I've seen a lot of signals from those two moving for the area as well. Well, so Japan may very well may be considered a Thunderdome of sorts when it comes to draconic conflicts. The third fleet is he stops for a second considering his phrasing, overlooking the past footage as well. The third fleet appears to have been traveling the Pacific Pacific with the intent of raising every island in their path. It is currently stationed on Hawaii, and I believe it is
Alright.
attempting to gather up the population who succumbed for recruitment into the Ark Dragon's forces.
Makes sense.
This is garbage, right?
Yes,
Yeah, this is Oscar.
Why is it called Oh, right, yeah, that
The
makes sense.
Grouch.
The Grouch. Yep.
yes, yeah, that's all. Fourth
The
fleet.
trash can Muppet.
The fourth fleet appears to be based around the Panama Canal, but overlooking past record has revealed that fleet elements of it have gone up and down the western coasts of the Americas, both north and south. I believe one of these fleet elements is what drove Conquest from its original spawning site towards us. The fifth fleet, on the other hand, is a he stops for a second problem. It is also one of the only two fleets currently not within the Pacific.
And that's probably why it's a problem.
Correct. The fifth fleet has passed through the Panama Canal and is currently by Cuba. We believe, based on the trajectory, it is intended to both gather information about the star, potentially the Scarlet Queen, and potentially head up into the Arctic, perhaps to flank the Russian Ark Dragon. The sixth fleet is the other fleet not in the. I cannot word. Give me a second. The other fleet not in the Pacific, and it is also a problem. We figured out it's there not because we can see its signals. We can, not really, but because the Russian Ark Dragon keeps taking pot shots at them. From what we can tell, they appear to be also based in the Arctic and are doing something to the waters.
Pollution, corruption. Pretty sure that's its domain.
Likely, yes, he says, nodding to Lucian. Commander Miskin believes that fleet, the Sixth Fleet in particular, is mostly subs. Subs that is likely spying and is likely scouting out the Russian Ark Dragon, with the Fifth Fleet being intended to reinforce it. We are not sure, however. Most
So
pressingly, you go first.
the idea would be to conceal our actions until the Fifth Fleet is in movement against Norm. Because by doing so, it lets the enemy fight each other and not us.
Michigan Holmes. Yes, yes, that sounds in theory. There is one catch, though. If it has access to a Sif's worth of Sif scale weaponry, then it's going to be able to stress test the words you've put up like nothing else. Besides the area it can't
Was it going
see is
far
something it needs to shoot at.
Okay, fair. That is a stress test, and taking it out is certainly worthwhile. Yes, it's basically. I would agree we don't want to stress test it, but I also do wonder how exactly it would find us. Like, I do have some faith in the Lord Alexis cast.
Commander Michigan nods at that. Nods at that before gesturing to Mr. Goldman to continue speaking. There is one more factor. I had to look into this with the help of Alexander. In each of the fleets, there appears to be a signal vaguely similar to the Ark Dragon's. The Ark Dragon's own signal on the Trash Island. I'm not sure what exactly that means, but it is definitely something to keep in mind when we go to deal with it. The sidekicks are just quiet as Alexander hums at that. I have a couple theories for what that could be, but nothing concrete. You might need to find one of those signals and drag them back to me or whatever to see if we could see and figure out what the hell's going on with them. But these drugs. Oh, listen. That's all the information on the oceanic dark dragon. Now into the movements of the other free. But I'll leave the Scarlet Queen for last. York Dragon in China has successfully finished effectively throwing up what appears to be a giant cloud system, maybe a extremely slow, gentle, I'm not sure the right wording, storm system over the entirety of China. Thick clouds radiate the dragon factor, making getting pictures of what's going on the ground there extremely difficult.
So he's a copycat.
Potentially. The Rustin Arc Dragon, on the other hand, has been more problematic.
What's he been up to this time?
He zoomed in onto a picture of Russa. Well, I was trying to figure out what fired that giant massive dragonite at us, and with some help from Sister Sophia, we found this. He pulls up a grainy picture from the satellite.
Oh.
So, it's a picture of what appears to be rails running through a flat stretch of snowy terrain. And on the rails is, okay, you guys know what a rail cannon is, right?
Oh god, it's a Gustav.
Imagine
railway guns, wonderful.
Imagine a Gustav scaled for dragons.
That's still just a Gustav, cause
Yeah, that's still just a Gustav. You underestimate how big those fuckers can get.
what wasn't it like 620 millimeters or something?
What is this, a fucking circus?
Point is it's an absolutely ridiculously sized gun. It's less like a gun and more like a land battleship because it has like 8 charges welded into it.
That's what the Gustav
That's
is.
what a Gustav is.
I am looking up a Gustav. That is basically what a Gustav is.
Well, it's bigger than the IRL one. So sus. Anyway, it's fucking huge, guarded by dragons, but more noticeably is there's a bunch of boxcars attached to the back end of it, and on the picture you can see a dragon pulling one of them open, dragging out what appears to be a cage filled with people.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh.
Sister Sophia is going to chime in here. We believe that this weapon, we don't have a proper name for it yet, is powered by human sacrifice. In order to make up for the fact that the Ark Dragon's supply of gunpowder is no doubt limited.
Oh.
That seems a bit inefficient considering humans are probably rarer than gunpowder at this point.
I was going to say.
Sister Sophia frowns. It depends on exactly how powerful the Ark Dragon is, and if it has any captive populations or ways to duplicate people. Magic can do many things as wondrous as it is terrifying.
At that, Sion nods and mumbles, "Well, I suppose we can count some blessings that it apparently can't manufacture gunpowder in mass."
Or
Oh,
anyway, so Mr. Goldman's going to nod to Sophia. This weapon, from what we can tell, its cells effectively have a global range. Range. It's
That's not
primarily
physically possible. That's legitimately not physically possible. Because,
magic
like,
says fuck you.
please.
Magic says fuck you.
Just use an ICBM. That's what.
Just use an ICBM.
Suffer. Magic goes fuck you. Magic does not care.
Shoot them into low Earth orbit.
Eel's eyes are twitching violently at this information.
Ashley is like. Ashley is also like processing. Okay, how the fuck is that physically possible?
Yeah, no, like both Eo and Ashley are just going like, this is some bullshit.
Like Ashley knows a small part of. Has a small bit of, oh, if I fuck it up with draconic magic, does this mean I can break physics like this? But also,
Anyway, it has effectively global range. Going over past records from Overlook, Overwatch. From what I can tell, its shot towards us was out of the ordinary. The primary places it's fired at are China, and the occasional pot shot taking out the Oceanic Arc Dragon's base of operations. He stops for a second. As well as the occasional pot shot towards the Middle East for some reason.
Probably when Romer is there.
No. The roaming Arc Dragon was never in the Middle East. Whenever the shots are fired, it's not for that.
Huh. Is it possible
Survivors?
that there's a group of survivors in the Middle East? Eel asks.
Entirely possible. I was about to get. I'll get to survivors once I'm done debriefing us on the movement of the Arc Dragons. Speaking of the roaming Arc Dragon, first up, me and Alexander have come to the conclusion that its nest is somewhere within Britain based on the patterns of its movement across the globe.
Clearly, it is J.K. Rowling come to turf us all.
No,
Please,
no,
you take
no,
this.
no. Anyways, I'm not.
I gave you 10 damage there, didn't I?
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
yes, you did.
that was funny, but also no.
It seems to have been popping up at the borders of all the territory of the Arc Dragons, poking at them. This includes at the northern edges of the Shroud when you all were gone in Europe.
How'd that go for Mr. Romer? Or Miss Romer? Or
We're
they
not.
Romer? I'm not really
We're not.
judgmental there.
We're not, sir. We weren't able to get any actual proper eyes on it, and it left after an hour.
Interesting.
He nods. Yes. Alexander believes it's looking for something, but we're not sure what. That doesn't matter right now, though. And next is the survivor groups. With how things are turning out, I've come to the conclusion there's likely at least one combat-worthy survivor group per Arc Dragon, based on what we can glean from their general actions, besides trying to kill each other. First, the most pressing one, I think, is he circles back to the Pacific onto Japan. Kyoto has a suspiciously low amount of dragon factor in the air, and a suspiciously high amount in the area around it. Just Sophia is going to chime in here. I believe that maybe some sort of barrier filtering it from the air, not capable of getting rid of the dragon factor, so it just builds up along the edges.
Eel will chime in here, actually.
Okay.
Kyoto is definitely one of those few places that is so spiritually significant that I could see it just pushing back against something so unclean.
She nods at that. Yes, yes, which would make it a natural place to go for any survivors in the area. Mr. Goldman's going to nod and chime in then. Yes, and the reason I'm saying it's the most press urgent is A, you intend to take on the Oceanic Arc Dragon next, and 3, the area of Japan is a Thunderdome between 3 Arc Dragons. The only reason it likely hasn't been directed to a true proper assault is the fact that whenever one tries, the other two pile it into the ground.
Yeah, so it's in the middle of a Mexican standoff. That can't be fun.
So
Think less a Mexican
when we
standoff and more the Cold War. There's a lot of skirmishes in the oceans around it, but no direct no direct invasions on the land itself yet. Beyond that, there's a mobile blizzard in Siberia that keeps moving around. Whenever dragon signatures go into it, they don't come out.
Survivors.
He nods.
Maybe Baba Yaga.
Survivors or some of the more spooky supernatural shit, perhaps.
Baba Yaga. Eel
So-
says.
how big
Yeah.
is the blizzard?
Big enough to cover at least a city. At least a city. I'll need to go back to get the exact math. Give me a moment.
It's definitely
Probably-
Baba Yaga.
Well, Lucina is trying to calculate number of survivors.
That will not do shit for you. It's entirely possible that, presumably Baba Yaga is just creating a blizzard of that size because it makes it harder for the dragons to hit at the actual survivors.
Yep, Lucina's well, because it's moving, you can't move hundreds of thousands of people. That's probably tens of thousands at most.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. It's probably more in the low, high thousands, is my guess.
Yeah.
Mayor Jane's going to.
Yes.
Anyways, so may I chime in here?
Yeah.
At the
Yeah, of course.
comment about this spooky supernaturals instead of survivors, Mayor Jane's going to poke her head up. I mean, there's no reason it can't be. It can't be both. This is a threat. The dragons are a threat to everyone. There's no reason not to work together.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at.
Ah, my bad, my bad. Mr. Goldman's going to nod. Yes, then in England, the presence of what we believe to be the Fae seems to be radiating out from Corsam. The mobile Arc Dragon has in fact tried to get into the town before being repulsed, from what I can tell from the orbit. I cannot get a number for how many survivors are on China, however, thanks to the heavy cloud layer. In total, I believe there is less than a billion humans and other sapient beings, non-draconic sapiens alive on the planet. I haven't seen any signs.
It's honestly kind of impressive, Eel says. I'm glad we survived to that extent.
I'm being generous and also taking into account the fact that there are no arc dragons directly active in South America and Africa.
Yeah, that's definitely helping them a lot, isn't it?
You know, it's that. Let me check.
Suppose that
As-
part is fair.
As for the question of the Scarlet Queen's forces, I have been asked if it's possible for.
I know. I was never asking to get a perfect breakdown. I just wanted to find her concentrations in the old shroud.
In
Because
the
the fact
old
is, her primary
shroud.
infrastructure is probably in the older area. Because
In
she
the
can't
old
just
shroud, he raises a finger. In the old shroud, there's several spots where the dragon factor is at its highest. He pulls out a notepad to double check. what I believe to be the location of Concord, Portsmouth, Augusta in Maine, and most pressing, the highest concentration, Mount Washington. Which I will confirm is indeed completely covered by this shroud. Not even the peak goes above it.
Protected. Four cities is far more manageable than an entire state.
However, in total, besides Mount Washington, there are 16 of these high-density sites. 13 of which are outside of the original shroud layer. I'll sites may have nothing to do with how the shroud is spread, where we simply lack the information. There also does seem to be signs of large-scale movement within the shroud simply based on how the dragon factor is disturbed by the movement of upper dragon factor. It's very fuzzy, hard to get exact details, however, I'm afraid.
The location of those sites is enough for my current planning.
All right, moving on.
Yes, so
That was in character.
Commander Mission is going to nod at that. Yes, yes, that's the general briefing on the current world state. We will handle planning later. You are all ordered to take a rest day to recover after the failure. Sister Sophia, how is I've managed to I've already passed the information over to my grandfather. He's annoyed, but I was able to console him with the fact that the dragon was driven from the area, seemingly driven from the area, and the fact that its two biggest guns were in fact killed.
Can they take Barcelona? As in the church?
I'm not sure right now. I'm not sure right now. My grandfather is being very particular about exactly how many forces he has left, besides the fact that the Inquisition got mauled.
He probably doesn't have nearly as many as he'd like. So he's being cagey and unhelpful, the prick.
Likely, yes. Knowing him, he's likely going to focus on further reinforcing the archives, and she stops for a second, closing her eyes and considering something. Honestly, knowing him, once he's done reinforcing archives, he's going to take advantage of the fact that strength is dealt with. She very specifically doesn't say dead. To try and find any other survivor groups that were simply hiding and try to recruit them, and then try to take advantage of the people being desperate to get faith, and to try to use that to probably summon an angel or two for more muscle.
He's aware of what's going on in the afterlife, right?
To some degree, yes, but I know my grandfather. There is no way he's going to believe that God is dead.
I mean, there's a strong chance big old boy up there isn't dead and that he's just doing a thing. It is all according to Keikaku.
Perhaps.
You basically want to make sure it was more the angels are busy.
No, yeah, that's what I figured you were saying. Is the angels are busy.
Yes, but I know. Yes, I know how my grandfather. Yes, but I know how my grandfather thinks he's definitely he's a pragmatic man and definitely more the beg for from ask for forgiveness, not for permission kind.
No, I
So
don't blame him for trying. I just don't think it's going to work.
She nods.
It seems like a waste of resources to try and focus on that angle.
Yes. Yes, but there is one element of that I expect my grandfather's planning to take advantage of that you haven't seen. My grand my grandfather's position as the head of the Vatican archives does come with some perks. Part of the reason I believe part of the reason the call was attempted assault on it, besides the fact it may have very well been a diversion for the seal, failed was, well, the head of the Vatican archives is given the ability to temporarily transform themselves into a lesser angel. Knowing my grandfather, he's likely planning on leveraging that into something, assuming summoning some new angels fails. We'll need to keep an eye on him. But still,
Same time, at the end of the
meh,
day, he's not a dragon. As long as his plan isn't stupid enough to turn him into one, I'd say let it slide.
Meredith's going to struggle. Anyways, the commander did say you'll need to go rest, so she's going to get up and make a make a playful suing gesture. Go out, relax. Go out, relax. Me and the other bigwigs will start planning our next. We'll start trying to figure out what exactly we should be doing. But go rest. You won't need it.
There was one thing in there was one piece of info I requested from the satellite that we didn't get.
Yes. What was it? Least I have been very busy.
Where
I
do
apologize.
for lack of a better term, Hellspawn, the one in Barcelona. If we want to clean up that to deal with that, we are likely going to need wonk strikes sooner than later.
I have no fucking
You'll
idea.
raise a finger.
I have no idea. Who
I'm
matters
really
to.
not convinced Hellspawn has left Barcelona. We didn't do nearly enough damage to his base of operations for him to do that, and I doubt the
Say
Starlight.
he hasn't. I said if he hasn't, we need to know.
Let me finish. Instead of interrupting me every 3 seconds, please. Never mind. I can't be bothered.
Sorry, dear.
Yuri, please remember chime in the chat first. Don't interrupt. Anyways, I have no fucking
Yes,
idea
thank
where
you for
that damn
calling.
thing ran off to. I haven't been able to find it on Overwatch. We don't know where it is.
Once we're off rest duty tomorrow, I will attempt to scry it.
Tomorrow, Michigan says, pointing a finger at you.
It's what I said.
Anyways, once the
Good
entire
news.
party and the sidekicks leave the room, assuming nobody else has anything else they want to do,
Where'd Miho go?
where'd Mio go? She's in the R20. She's in the R20. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Just left the channel.
Give me a second. Let me check Discord.
He didn't say anything.
DMing her right now. Give me a second.
Dr. Toast, while we wait, what was the status of specifically Savo Sound?
Sava.
Oh,
Right. Sava
that was in the
was.
list.
Let me check my notes. Sava was. Well, Savo and the Solomon Islands appear to have already been hit by the ocean dragon, judging by how the islands show signs of heavy naval settling and a complete lack of living vegetation.
Did it raise the wrecks that were in that area?
He's not sure.
That's what I needed to know. That matter, is it raising wrecks or is it just spawning them?
We lack the information at this time.
Try and get info on those wrecks, then that's the most useful thing for planning that.
Alright, give me a second talking to Mio and the DMs. Give me a second. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so I'm just going to. Okay, so Mio's going to be back in a bit. He's not. Bits. He's not saying when. When. So I'm just going to push her stuff to the side for a bit once the entire party leaves. So give me a sec. Just let me run over here. No, what? Let me see the thing. Blah, blah, blah. So. Blah, 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 blah. So. Once the entire party leaves and just filters back through Ascalon, what? How do I start this? Who's getting front on the bus first? Kirov. So what is your so what is Kirov going to be? What is Kirov going to be doing for the rest of the day?
Probably just hanging out at the bar and chatting people up.
Heading down to the big gun.
Yeah.
Did I put that on the map? I think I forgot to put that on the map. Actually, give me a second. If I remember correctly, it's like right here. It's right here. No, that's the wrong color. You head down. So you head down to the bar that just has a giant fucking gun for the sign. Sign the military bar for all of Ascalon's non-you guys dues at this point. It's full. The atmosphere isn't the raging celebrations it was last time you were chimed in. It's just, excuse me, but yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Give me a sec. Tone's not the same. It's not the as like celebratory as the first time you were here after Conquest died. Instead, it's more just down low, calm, happy but calm.
So the
The
usual bar atmosphere.
yeah, usual bar atmosphere. That's a good way to put it. The half giant bartender, the biggest man you've ever fucking seen, is behind the bar today. But you can very noticeably note that there's no bottles or such near him at all. For some reason.
Gonna wave at him and ask what's up.
Okay, so he's gonna he's gonna wave back. Hey, Kirov, been a bit since you last came in. How's the Resident Heroes doing?
Well, the last operation was a bit of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. Want to bitch about it over a beer?
Pretty much.
It's just fucking just practice. Passes. He basically passes you a big fucking cup. It's more like he just fucking throws it across the table at you and you catch it. Yeah, that's fine. A couple. Not sure if the commander's told you all yet. But some of the smaller operations have been a bit annoying as well.
Bugger.
Well. You see, the thing
Hopefully
is,
logistics.
It's not logistics, thankfully. So he stops. So ever since Conquest got dealt with, the red bitch has been quiet. We don't know why. It's weird, worrying, but we don't know why. Why some of the boys got him nervous, but also the real problematic thing is you know about the raids on the old hospital in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guard detail. Not sure if this, not honestly, I'm not sure if this has filtered up to the commander yet, but recently, some of the boys there have been hearing weird shit, noises, sounds, all that kind of shit. And the word that some of the cultists might be fucking haunting the place or whatever.
Oh, joy.
Indeed, if it is ghosts, they haven't actually tried killing anyone yet, which is always a plus. He's going to wave a finger at you. I'm not sure if you ever tried to get into a gunfight with a ghost, but trust me, it fucking sucks. Your bullets just go through them.
That weird grudge shadow dragon thing might count.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, so it was when we were hitting up this old black site. Basically, EO tried to commune with the spirits, and that had a really fucky reaction with all the Draconite in the air. Turns out the thing was very vulnerable to flashbangs, though.
Flashbangs. Okay, he's going to lean
Probably because
forward.
it was made of shadows.
He's going to nod, leading on to his knuckles. Oh yes, that would do it. That would do it. I assume you ripped the shards done.
Yes.
Lucky. That's not how the normal fight with a ghost goes. Normally, they're slippery bastards, jumping in, phasing in between and out of the walls as they grab walls, or popping up to the floors, grabbing you by the knees and trying to pull your goddamn soul out. Fighting ghosts fucking sucks.
Yeah, it must.
But anyways, enough about fighting the dead. Dead. He's gonna stop a second. He's gonna stop a second to muse something over. How has Ventirfing Squadron been lately, besides the Elise mission being a clusterfuck?
There have definitely been some stressing revelations.
Anything you can talk about?
At least one of the dragons I think, was somebody some of our squad knew.
Ooh, that's gonna fucking suck. It suck. It sucks when one of the boys runs into someone they knew who got turned into one of the little lizard bastards. Can't imagine what it's like to have someone turn into a proper dragon. Uh, Never drink on the house. He passes you. He throws another fucking mug at you.
Hero hasn't even finished the first.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Dude, you have hero status. He doesn't care.
Yeah, it's just amusing.
But yeah. Unless, but yeah, it's just, but yeah. Also, the biggest problem I think, the biggest problem for all the for all us ground pounders has been pretty simply just the getting used to how things have changed. The
Oh, what
amount of
way?
the amount of times I've seen someone who came from the mundane side of things stare in a bodily fuse at a mage or one of the non-human doing their things is just well, I've lost count at like 5 times at this point, I think.
Oh yeah, that'd do it.
Usually it's just amusing, but adjusting has been a bit of a hassle.
Guessing the flirting's gotten even worse then too.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that, Kirov?
I'm guessing the flirting has gotten even worse then too.
Do not get me out. Do not start that conversation. You do not want to delve into that topic. He waves a finger at you. Like, this is a finger the size of your neck.
Fair enough.
Besides that, we've also got Leah just P. Alright, have you?
What?
Besides that, there's also the fact that just the lizard bastards are just extremely annoying in the fight. Because they
I
just like
find
the fuck.
beehive rounds work very well.
I'm afraid not everyone has the same resistance to recoil that you or me have, I'm afraid. That and the
Hey,
bastards like
fair enough.
that and the bastards really like hiding in the ground and just springing up behind us. It is extremely annoying. Still.
Yeah, especially when you get the fat bastards that explode.
Oh, you ran into those guys over in Europe? We've seen a couple. We've been starting to run into them here too. Yeah, they suck.
If you're strong enough, you can throw them at the dragons to do fun stuff, though.
Throwing using the enemy as living grenades. What else would I expect from
Yes.
Crimson Squadron? Honestly, the us ground pounders don't really fight dragons much. Normal dragons much. Most of the time we just see them in the distance flying from point to point doing shit. Maybe occasionally the Jonathan shoots at them and drops them out of the sky occasionally, but meh. Honestly, he's going to lean in. I've heard that some of the boys have had to be placed at Alexander's lap as guards because the mad bastards got a fucking dragon stuffed in there.
Oh, right, that one.
What do you mean that one?
He asked us to get one live.
There's actually a dragon in there.
Yeah, though I'm pretty sure it's sedated to all hell and fed through a tube or something.
Hopefully, just how the fuck did you drag one back to Underboss alive?
Very carefully.
He just laughs at that. Anyways, besides that,
At least that means our
f-
mages will have an unlimited supply of that blood for casting.
yeah. Yeah, the ground pounder mages have been excited about that as well.
It's crazy runs in the genome.
Honestly, I think wizards are just fucking crazy in general.
I mean, yeah, then you mix that with like the marine mentality and you get some real shit.
He lifts a finger, stops, scratches his skull for a second, and nods. You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, so what's been going on for you though?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I barely avoided spending a week in the under prison a couple weeks ago. I might have gotten
Oh
it.
boy.
I might have gotten a bit too drunk after the celebration for killing that prick who flew around buildings, and I might have spiked somebody's car onto a light stand. This is entirely
Not the worst
hypothetical.
thing drunks have gotten up
This is entirely hypothetical, though.
to. I didn't hear shit.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Besides that, besides that, a couple of the bunch of the medics recently have also been heading down to Sister Sophia's church. I think they're planning on learning how to use healing magic from her.
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, the mumbo jumbo for both arcane magic and the however the fuck that faith stuff works just goes over my head.
Goes over mine too.
Good to hear I'm not alone in that then. Besides that, what else have you been doing? What else has Tearfang Squadron been dealing with lately? Actually, if the latest mission's been a sit stir, mind telling me what the fuck it was like?
Come again?
What was the latest mission like? If it was such a clusterfuck?
The bastard basically had the place fortified to high hell, and when we finally found him, he just pieced out with some fucking teleporting bullshit.
But he teleported away.
Yeah.
They can do that.
To be fair, he made some kind of doohickey to do it.
They can. The fact that they can make tools is not less disconcerting. You do realize, right? I swear to fuck if we have to deal with a dragon carrying a dragon-sized AK-47.
Oh, it was worse than that. He was mind controlling all the little ones to use guns.
Oh, great! So it's like the blue bastard. It was like a second coming of the blue bastard then.
Yeah, if more coordinated.
Oof.
Like the blue bastard was more the telekinesis than the telepathy.
You know, it's that. Yeah. From the sound of it, this bastard can't throw around buildings. Thankfully, I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Is it true you caught the blue bastard in a bear trap?
Yes, it pissed him off so much, even if it didn't actually do anything.
Nice. He's gonna raise a drink. Do a cheers. I'm gonna end the scene off there if that's fine with you.
Sure.
Yeah, we can do. We might be able to do more things with Carolina a bit, but I just want to end this off there. Ashley, what is Ashley doing there on her rest day?
She's probably. I'm guessing it'd probably be in the laboratory district. Mostly just at a workshop, just working on something, not necessarily something useful, just something to keep her hands busy and her mind not dwelling on the recent mission.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume you're just working on. I'm just going to assume you're just going to be working on like a doohickey for the Prometheus, so you're in the big Prometheus lab.
Yeah, around there.
Eliz is going to tap you on the soldier. Hey, hey, thank you for letting me take a spot on the Prometheus during the clusterfuck.
Ashley kind of just takes a sigh to kind of. My brain is moving. My mouth is moving faster than my brain right now. Ashley's
okay.
kind of just going to take a sigh to kind of clear out what's been on her mind a bit.
Heavy
Glad
thoughts?
you enjoyed it.
Heavy thoughts? Yeah, she's tilting her head a little bit. Behind her is her workspace. Is one of her workstations. You can see that she's just cleaning up the prototype railgun.
Yes, I have mixed feelings on the latest mission.
I don't blame you. That bastard was ugly as fuck.
Feels bad too.
Yeah.
I can't even say Prometheus fell short.
Yeah, it was
Like I'm delighted that Prometheus did just as well as I hoped.
But it is a bit annoying that it spooked the bastard enough it seemed to have fucked off.
Yeah.
Hopefully next time. Hopefully next time we'll be able to corner the bastard and curve stomp its skull.
Hmm.
Speaking
But
of
if anything, I'm just frustrated that we still failed.
That's understandable. That's understandable. Trust me, trust me. This is a lot better win streak than what we had when it was just me and the rest of Goldman's folks versus ACOP and Conquest.
True.
Uh, Speaking of that cluster, I need to poke Mr.
Hmm?
Goldman to see if Overwatch has any temperature sensors or anything like that to see if we could figure out what the fuck my rover's gone and run off to.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a mess. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, still it's just a fucking mess, isn't it?
Fucking horrid.
Fucking hard. Anyways, I do have some thoughts for new weaponry for the Prometheus. However, if you're willing to have a gander.
I would love that.
So she pulls you over. She's gonna pull you over to our workbench. So, well, we don't have enough power. Well, we could, in theory, mount a railgun on the Prometheus as is right now. The problem is that making it would be one that big would be a bit of a pain in the ass, and two, she's going to flip over the prototype railgun, and on the bottom of like the tuning fork like structure behind behind the trigger such, there's a bulletproof plexiglass casing inside of it is a bunch of wires basically duct taped to a very small draconite crystal.
Actually, it's kind of just going to chuckle at the duct tape.
Hey, the duct tape works. It keeps it in place. It doesn't burn. It does its job. Anyways,
Always beautiful.
as is, to mount a railgun on the Prometheus, you wouldn't be able to move and shoot it in the same well, you wouldn't be able to move and shoot the damn thing. You'd have to be stationary to fire it. We'd have to mount a second generator if you wanted to stay mobile while shooting it, and that comes with its own slew of problems.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do have another idea. She's going to flip through her notebook and pull up the sketch of the goddamn pile driver.
Sorry, what was that last part? I was checking the voiceless chat.
The pile bunker.
Hmm.
Fuck. Give me a second. I just lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Yes, he just gestures to taps the thing of the pile bunkers. I think we might be able to scale one up for the Prometheus, but I'm not.
Ooh.
I mean, it would probably mean we can't mount any other weapons on that arm just because of how fucking big the damn thing would be. Uh, it would still have
I
limited ammo.
gotcha.
It would still have limited ammo and all of that. Limited ammo. I'm not sure how long it would take to make an upscaled version and mount it on the Prometheus, however. But it would give you a melee option better than just punching them in the face. She stops for a second.
I like that.
Speaking of punching them in the face, she flips over to another section in what appear to basically be giant fucking knuckle dusters that are supposed to be welded into the base frame. I've come up with these just add a bit more extra power to Prometheus's punches because, well, When you punch those brainwashed guys, they should have just died. And they didn't, and I took offense to that.
God, I don't know how they withstood that much metal to the face.
I don't want them to withstand that much metal to the face again. Anyways, how it will work is basically just we're just going to staple fucking spikes to Knuckles.
I like that. I like that.
It shouldn't interfere holding over weapons and doing stuff. It just means when you punch someone in the fucking face, it's not like they get run over by a car. It's like they get run over by a car that has fucking spikes attached to the front, and hopefully that's enough to fucking kill them. I still need we still need to make the spikes and mount them though.
Mm-hmm.
Kirov also at some point Kirov also attached a sticky note to my notebook. I don't know when the fuck he did that. He suggested you're great at adding. Well, his handwriting kind of sucks, so I'm not supposed to be a canon that says grape saw or a canon that says grapple saw. I could work with either, to be honest.
I'm just going to say, knowing him, I'm betting grape shot.
Hopefully. On the other hand, some sort of spear cannon to let you anchor dragons to the ground and keep them from flying off could be useful. Definitely something to work on. Meanwhile, I recommend giving Akira a bit of why Ruff, he's still kind of annoyed you took the Prometheus under the ocean on its first test run. Happy that it still works, but he is extremely annoyed about getting the salt out. As he says
I
that,
can't say I blame him.
as he says that, he looks over to Prometheus where you can see Akira. He's just climbed onto one of the soldiers. He has the trash spot hanging from the gurney system, and the two of them are just fucking washing salt off of the solder, and you can just hear him muttering angrily. He is just enjoying getting all the salt out. On the other hand, I do have to say though, dropping out of lower forward on the goddamn mech was not how I think my life is going to end up going.
Yep.
But still, I do. Yeah, that's all I have.
If you asked me,
oh, you go.
if you asked me a year ago that I'd be driving a mecha, I'd say you'd be crazy.
I'd agree. Apologies, had to hydrate. I agree, but yeah, that's all I have for weapon design. Is there anyone really want to see me try and get made before you go deal with the next Dark Dragon or whatever it is you're going to be dealing with?
My brain is like kind of. So
The options are, by the way, railgun,
yeah,
pile driver,
railgun, pile driver,
spiked
Duster Knuckles.
spiked knuckles, grape sock cannon, and maybe some sort of grapple hook thing. You mean a Zimmerman, Kirov? Do you mean a Zimmerman?
Yeah, that's what I meant by like the cannon with grape shot, basically.
But yeah, that's basically
Because that's literally what it is. It's just a bigger shotgun.
yeah, those are the options for what Elizabeth will try to see if she can make for the Prometheus.
Real talk, out of character, I'm leaning towards the grapple hook. I feel like keeping a swimming archdragon within arm's reach of the surface is going to be vital.
So you're basically just wanting a harpoon gun.
yeah. Going to Moby Dick this dragon.
Phrasing.
Anyways, she's going. Elizabeth's going to nod and bob her head. That train of logic checks out. I'll see what I can do. You likely have to pierce the dragon's Vulcan magic or scale armor in order to get the damn thing in, but I think I should be able to whip something up. She's gonna start pulling out her notebook and start muttering as she starts sketching design notes and such onto it. Then across the workshop, you hear a fuck. Hey, fuck you, fuck! It's like from Kyra. You look over and he's just fucking fell off the Prometheus and hanging from his harness. Help!
All right.
That was a dexterity
Where's
check.
the?
That was a dexterity check from him, by the way. I was literally just rolling to see if it was gonna fall off or not because it'd be funny.
All right. Where's the bag?
Right behind my shoulder blade. Right behind my shoulder blade. I can't reach it from how I'm tied up. Definitely a design flaw I need to work on.
Kos, I will say when I say e-bag, I mean specifically the bag of like equipment used to do a rescue for like exactly this situation.
I thought you meant like follow him. My bad. I am stupid. Yellow box. The big yellow box that's titled Kirov Stay Out.
Ashley is going to chuckle a bit before getting the necessary equipment out of the box.
Yeah, Akira's just bitching to himself as you then down just kicking himself over slipping. Once he's down on the ground and on his feet, it's just a bunch of like tools and shit. The reason is they just don't want Kirov stealing them and shooting them out of his gun at dragons. Because this is the same person that uses fucking grenades as shotgun rounds.
The funny thing is that Kirov wanting to shoot hammers out of his shotgun isn't even outside the realm of possibility.
Exactly. That's why it says Kirov Stay Out. Anyways, thank you, Lassie. Thank you, Ashley. I've got most of the salt out of the Prometheus. It's just in a couple hard to get places right now. Please, keep her out of the fucking ocean, please. If you
I can't make promises until the archdragon in the ocean is dead. But after that, I'll try to stay out.
Honestly, couldn't you ask like one of the fucking wizards to like I don't know, do some wizard mumbo jumbo and make it so the Prometheus can walk on water? He's gonna stare at you as he says
Yeah,
that.
I can look.
Year to
I
year.
can look at.
You
I could
want
look
to ask
into
Lucina
water.
that?
What'd you say, Yuri?
You want to ask Lucine that? You can go find and ask Lucine.
Ashley is like mentally noting that to ask Lucine at the end of the rest day or the end.
Understandable.
No sooner.
Understandable. Because we all know Lucine would just go do it.
Yeah.
I'll end the scene off. I'll end the scene off there then.
Currently, Lucine is passed out cuddling Fluffy Tail.
That tracks. So Sylvan. Hello.
Oh, so you do realize what's going
Yes.
to happen every time you give Sylvan a scene and nothing better to do?
I know. I'm still. I still have to ask Sylvan. What is Sion doing?
Do you really want to know?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, she is giving our bestest friend in the world after her girlfriend, the wonderful Scarlet Dragon, Scarlet Empress. She's going to continually misname her in about a dozen different ways each time she talks to her.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh wait, she ranked
Let's
above
think of the
Lucine?
How are you?
Lucine would be very sad.
How are you, Frank? How are you doing this? I'm going first. How are you doing this?
a tiny ritual to enhance her telepathy so that it has effectively unlimited range, but specifically only to her. You already approved this several sessions ago.
I remember. Right? Yeah, there is a material component you can use to do that because Alexander does have a fucking feather from one of the
Yes.
assassins. So how I imagine is Sion's just just sitting down in the corner of her lab in this tiny ass ritual circle, sitting on a pillow. She's holding this bigger red feather that very specifically looks like it's had its edges grinded off with a saw blade because you've heard Alexander bitch about the feather being sharp.
Yes, you are exactly right in how you are describing her. Sadly, she cannot float effortlessly, otherwise she'd be on the ceiling sitting on a pillow.
I'm not surprised Sion. So okay, so you boot up what do you do when you boot up the ritual?
Let's think. What is the best way to call a draconic demigod of mass destruction, death, and horror?
The Steel Park Simpson playbook.
Please don't.
Yeah, 1 sec to type it out so I know what I'm saying.
Oh, I am curious. Is Lucine actually ranked lower than Post, or is that just Sion being Sion?
It's Sion being Sion. You're even.
Lucine is very glad she didn't act. This is not actually an in-character conversation.
Kirov, she
Anyway,
would kill you for that.
He only wants us dead.
Anyways, so I'll just let you finish typing, then I'll progress with the scene.
Downside is that you let her finish typing.
Yes, I really don't understand why you all find my suffering so amusing.
Because it's hilarious!
What have I
Because
done
you
to
were
deserve?
evidently bullyable.
Just for that, I'm going to find a way to kill Kirov slowly and painfully.
You make a
Are you sure you
vaguely
want to
brutal point
unleash
like
whatever
that,
I have as Plan B?
I don't think you have a plan B.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I say nervously.
Post? You just said the stupidest possible thing you could have said.
I do not claim to be smart. Also, I think the stupidest thing was letting Zeon type for however long she wants. I'm pretty sure I'm about to see the most chuniest thing in the world once he's done.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a dragon by her tail, slips dancing up on corpse crowned sky, and by mother sent to pick the prettiest one, and you, Scarly Draconi, are it.
So,
This
so,
is
so,
worse.
so,
This is
very
somehow worse.
somehow. So just to confirm, this is two-way, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for 5 seconds you can. Is it just words, or do you get emotions over this as well?
emotions, and sometimes images.
So for the first 5 seconds, you just get stunned silence. Then, what the fuck do you want?
Just wanted to say hi to my gal pal. What else, homie?
Okay, so she's silent again for another 5 seconds. You get the feeling of pain over the bone, like she smacked her face into something repeatedly.
Oh, I just had a very good idea. Oh wait, I should shut up.
The image of Sion smiling in her direction is now transferred over the link in response to that.
I am busy with something. If you would not mind.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're ADHD too, so you should just learn to multitask a little, kid.
Let's say kid.
Yes. By accident.
So you do realize that your supposedly threatening music was just used as a punchline?
Shut up. You just get fucking rage. You just get a lot of fucking rage over the guy. Look at that. I do not have time to deal with your nonsense. Please cut this out before I decide to go back on our little deal.
Well, if I was talking to a friend who's inevitably planning to kill me and everyone else I care about, and then get themselves killed following a dumbass religion when they themselves have always been obnoxiously certain that they will never be religious, I probably wouldn't be cutting that friend too much slack in that direction.
She cuts the connection at that.
So, I'm going to go back to our discussion from earlier. I think the Scarlet Queen may end up next because Sion just annoyed her that hard.
Sion smiles, knowing that she has, for her day, done her contribution to the good of the universe.
So I'm going to ask a question. Did you
Yes.
ask Alexander for the favor, or did you just take it?
What do you think?
So as you get up, Alexander opens the door to your workshop, looks to you, looks in your hands, looks back to your face, looks what's into your hands. Sion,
Yes.
why do you what were you doing with the feather?
Well, I was talking to an old friend who we've only just gotten back acquainted with after having a long gap, and I thought the conversation went rather productively.
Sion, please tell me you weren't talking to the Ark Dragon.
I don't think it's your position. I don't think you are in the position to be dictating how I talk to my friends in my own time. Now, sure, sometimes friends want to horribly kill each other. That's just a part of life. If you wanted to go and kill everyone who's wanted to kill you before, you'd have to kill everyone. Because there's always that one tiny split second of killing intent that everyone has and immediately dismisses.
Alexander's just staring at you. Sion, can I please have the feather back?
Wait, oh yeah, sure. I thought you would hand it back.
Yeah, he sticks it back in it. He sticks it back in the can. Canister. He keeps it in. Seriously though, were you actually fucking talking to her?
Yeah, why not?
Did you get any useful data? Psychology, anything?
Hmm. She said she was rather busy. She's still rather sensitive about the fact that she's been converted to a religion after being a lifelong agnostic/atheist. And she tried to threaten me with dramatic sounding, ominous feelings, only to probably realize after she hung up that it was completely useless since it would just sound like a soundtrack in my head. Anyway, she's still just as chuny as she was before. She's just trying to be smug and indifferent about it. Which is a really hard combination to pull off, but she does it rather well.
I'm going to please don't make me spend. Please don't make me spend a sleepless night going over this, Sion.
Well, I mean, it's better than looking up
Can
about the
Lucine wander by tiredly at this moment just to throw in a snarky remark?
Sure.
Not the first time she's done it.
Alex is just going to very calmly spin it around. What the fuck do you mean?
Oh yeah, I passed her a note a while back. I saw one of her assassins looking around the city.
Lucine has walked away at this point.
Alex is going to very calmly put both hands on Sion's shoulder. Sion, please stop getting more concerning every time you open your mouth.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that, because even when I'm not trying to be, it seems to just keep happening.
He just stares at you. Anyways, psychological data. Psychological data. He is very obviously changing the topic as he starts dragging you towards his lab.
Honestly, I'm still kind of surprised about how human she still is mentally. I mean, there's obviously a disconnect between being completely willing to kill every person on this planet, but otherwise, if you just take that element and then put the rest of her normal self, it's all pretty much there. It's just that one little inhibition that used to be there, perhaps the instinctual distaste for it that all humans have by default has been removed, and then the rest of her psyche just rearranged to match over the absence of it. At least that's what I would guess offhand.
Alexander's writing it down. That is useful information. We don't know much about the We don't honestly have much data about the psychology on the Arc Dragons.
It doesn't help that what we know about the one psychic fellow was that he was a traumatized child survivor of human experimentation. So we don't really know how much was just all that and how much was him being an archdragon.
And the big guy didn't fucking talk to you. He didn't talk to you.
No, though he was rather upset when I started giving him a front row seat of My Little Pony. Really inconsiderate. It took me hours to memorize that.
Alfred is going to stop at that. Look up from his notepad. Sion, why are you torturing the Arc Dragons?
Because I can. Has mankind ever needed any other reason?
Alexander's going to. Yes, Sion is in fact being disturbing and insightful. Anyway, Alexander's going to put the notepad as a sticky note saying Arc Dragons on it down. He's going to walk over, pick up another notepad that says Sion on it, and starts writing down on that.
Come from Lucine too.
Oh yeah, no. Lucine's in a lock. Lucine has one. It's in a lockbox along with all the other bloodline shit.
Yeah. Offhand, I can't remember if I did anything to the other one, I think I did, but I don't remember it specifically. It was probably something silly.
If I remember correct, if I remember if I remember correctly, I believe there were reports of you trying to suicide bomb its cultist.
No, that was
Lucian
me
walks
trying to
by
be overly
now with a
dramatic.
piece of.
I
Lucian
was
walks by
trying
with
to
a piece of bread
convince
in
them
her
that I
mouth.
was suicide
Just the
bombing them,
bear
but would
trap.
instead teleport in from the explosion to make it look as if I had exploded without actually exploding. My logic is not very firm.
Alexander's going to raise a finger. Sion, I have a question.
Yes.
Why are you like this?
That would be. I have no idea. Presumably a traumatic childhood, but it wasn't really that traumatic. Just a lot of competing obligations.
Hold still. He's going to walk away. He's gonna grab. He's gonna pull. He's gonna grapple his blood test set arm.
Didn't he already get a blood test from her?
Yes, but he wants a new. Yes, but he wants a new one. The new one that he can check against with all his with because now he has access to the Call's two big bloodline record, two of the Call's bloodline record things. The one for you and the one for the Scarlet Queen.
I feel like he would have saved the blood, but I guess actually, yeah, if he thought it was minor, he would have thrown it out.
I'm thinking it was less as minor, more just got eaten, and more in. I think it was. I think it's more. I think it was more. He just doesn't have more. He just didn't have the space to store it long term until recently. So
And it's yeah, the problem for blood is several layers of fucked up between now being a succubus and she shoved dragon's blood in her veins. Or draconid blood, sorry.
yes, I really fucking wish I had a sample of your blood work before you well he looks at your fucked up eyeball.
Well, unless it applies to all the blood everywhere. I've been to a lot of hospitals, so you could probably find one and it's still semi-intact.
I'm adding that to my to-do list. Anyways. But yes, so but still this does seem to point in the general direction of if normal dragons break, perhaps orc dragons warp, bend? We need to capture one alive to confirm, I think. And I don't think we're gonna be able to do that.
Well, we have one soul, and I would hope that's well, it's halfway there.
Yes, the Strength's
I
body
wonder if
is
we
a
could shrink its body and then put it back in its body.
Sion. It's
Or maybe if we...
Sion. It is too big.
Well, what if we take a sample? Well, actually, no, we probably don't have any. But if we did, we could have a sample of his flesh. We could clone enough tissue to form a human head and then put his soul into the human head, attached to a life support system.
It would just it would just turn into the dragon head.
Oh, that's still
It's
fine
very
if it's just
hold
a
on.
head.
There is that though. Anyways, Strength's body is kind of a treasure trove of data. I haven't even been able to get into explaining that on the meetups, but so he points to the big lens doohickey I've shown off. I've mentioned before, the one that lets him look at the one he's been using to look at the test subject soul.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to get a couple good looks at the Arc Dragon soul, and honestly, it looks mostly like similar to same kind of changes as normal dragon soul, just with the this note I believe is supposed to be the crown, and just more dragon factor, more power.
I would note that there possibly is a difference between a misanthrope and someone who doesn't have that much attachment to their humanity due to being deprived of the conditions to affirm it, versus a faithful warrior of the Catholic Church, there's probably some degree of inherent disposition, regardless of bloodline, personality-wise.
It's yes. I'm talking more of the upbeats. But yes, I have a bunch of theories. No theories. Won't be able to really confirm any until someone's willing to do necromancy to let me actually talk to them and see if they'll actually talk.
Well, if I knew the spell, I'd let you do it right now.
I'm glad you don't know this
I'm
spell.
going to point out nobody asked him, or he never asked anybody.
He's just so busy with like 500 things though. He does like all the dragon R&D in Ascalon. He's busy.
Actually, one thing, just for Sion to say before we move on. Though, we probably shouldn't just be thinking of the archdragons as individuals. So far, I'm pretty sure each one has had at least one lieutenant who was substantially more cognizant of themselves and sometimes their past. For example, our psychic friend had a sister in all but blood, a fellow victim of the cult, who was also very aware and was still very attached to her past, which is why she was willing to, well, draw our attention attempting to resurrect him in a place that we would obviously be aware of.
Hmm.
Who was very attached to him, and up until the point where she died, really. She was still very much going at it, both out of revenge and out of love, affection, some sort of twisted conglomerate of them.
He nods. Definitely something to look into. Then there's that vampire dragon who pieced out. Who pieced out. Hmm. Honestly, if you've seen that
Mhm.
bastard again, can you try to capture him, please?
Will do, will do. I honestly didn't think that. I guess it depends if he became a vampire first or a dragon first.
And maybe ask Jeremiah. I've been too busy to approach him myself, so maybe he knows. Anyways, I've got more research to do, so he's just going to put the feather in one of the lockboxes and just push you out of the lab now that he has your blood work again.
And with that, Sion goes off to cause problems elsewhere. Or as
Yes,
she
that
likes
is
to
in
think of
fact.
it, have fun and help.
No, she wasn't in the same room as the captive dragon this time. The captive dragon's in this. There's Alexander has a second lab now. That's in Ascalon. That's where the captive dragon is being kept. Anyways, Io pieced out for the night because of IRL, so I can't ask her. Do any of you guys want to do scenes together? Because I was expecting the RP to take longer. So
What I wanted to do together was talking to EO, so no.
I am fine with cutting it here.
We've got more
If it
caps.
had been.
didn't we have that? Didn't we have that? Stuff Ashley was going to talk to Carol about. Actually, didn't we have that planned?
Partially, I'm not sure if I'm like fully awake enough to actually do that this session.
Ah.
But also, like that.
Lucine has a bunch of scrying she was going to do tomorrow morning that is probably worth having before the next session so we can fucking plan.
Okay. You know what?
That would be a good priority.
You know what? Yeah, let's do it.
But also,
yeah, I'm just going to open up the timeline doc. Give me a second. Fuck it. We'll do it now. Then we'll just figure out what the hell to do is for general relax. Dude, then we'll just see if I can fit more relaxation stuff in, and we'll figure out. Give me a second. That's the wrong fucking document. House reflection sheet document, not the timeline document.
Yeah, like first priority is we have those two biblios Lucine did, and then the second thing is she is attempting to get scrying eye info on Hellspawn.
Okay, so first up. I'll just do confirm. No one else has anything they want to do. Any scenes they want to do with another player first?
Right.
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to
Nothing spontaneous.
Okay, I just wanted to check first. Honestly, very easy assumption. Erie, knowing the scene, how feasible is it that we just run this as her just kind of going behind Miss Higgins' back and trying to break into her lab to do it?
No, because we know because of Io would be put on her tail.
This is fair. Okay.
Lucine is she's willing to accept 1 day of downtime.
Okay, Bill. Okay, just surprised no one else wanted to talk any of the embassies or party members. You know what? That's
Oh,
fine.
I had something to do, but it was with Io.
Is there anything else you want to do besides the ritual stuff? Also, let me just move. I also forgot to add
No,
Jeremiah
no,
onto
there
the app
isn't.
Underboss map. Give me a second.
I don't have anything else to do. Since Lucine, especially at the moment, is kind of is very much working solo.
Okay. So early next morning, I'm going to assume Lucine just wakes up early next morning to get this done as soon as possible. That work?
Because it's a whole pile of stuff.
Yeah. So before the sun's up, Lucine's heading down to her lab, I assume, right?
Well, starting in the actually no, her lab is a library at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get down to your lab, you can see Alexis. Alexis is already in her lab. The door is open. Hers. Do you want to peek ahead? Do you want her door's open? Her lab's open. You can see lights are coming in. You can hear her talking and talking. What are you gonna do? You want to peek in or just go do your thing?
Yell. I'll just yell inside. Going to do a bibliolelia, don't mind me.
I want to be there for a second in case we get a funky reaction. Again, give me a second. You hear Alexis's voice come out. Just
The
give me a
first one's
second.
simple. I'll start that. The first one is mundane. I'll start with that.
No. No, just give me a moment. I need to keep beating these imps into these goddamn bullets. Give me a second. As he says that, you can hear what sounds like the most squeaky voice ever say "fuck you," to her, which her, and then the sounds of her throwing metal at it. Get in the fucking bullet, you little fucking bastard! I mean, if you want Kira, do you want to be there helping Alexis with what she's trying to do?
Yes. Yes.
So we're gonna step. So we're going to step to Kira off to a second. Is that okay with you, Lucine?
Sure.
Okay, so Kirov, you're helping Alexis. You got woken up in the middle of the morning to like you got grabbed like right after you got breakfast by Alexis to help her with something. She said, and when you asked why she didn't grab Sion, the answer was very simple. Very simple was a friendly fire. It turned out what she meant by that is you are in. So she has a table. On that table is a very tiny summoning circle, and she's just using it to just basically pull imps out of hell. And she's trying to shove them into bullets to hold spells for her, so she can shoot a bullet into something and have the bullet cast a spell.
Host, are
I
you aware
like
that
this
is a spell?
idea.
Wait, what did you say, Erie? I didn't hear you.
This is a 4th level spell. Magic bullets.
Yes, he's trying to find a workaround. She's trying to find a workaround basically that works for dark magic stuff. Anyway, so the imps are basically just really tiny demon men. Demon a bunch of flat color schemes. They are also extremely foul mouthed.
Oh, those poor sons of bitches.
So by the time Lucine's walking by, you're on the fifth one. This one is a bright eye-searing orange. It is current. It is currently. It is currently. How are you keep? How are you? Are you doing anything to keep it in the circle?
Yeah, he's probably physically holding the damn thing down.
You're holding it. You're holding it down. Alexis has pulled out a bunch of empty. Has pulled out an empty casing from somewhere and is trying to shove the little bastard in the casing. Into the
I
casing.
swear to God, if you keep this up, I'm going to give you a holy water enema.
You don't have the balls.
Bet.
Record, Lucine is actually starting her cast.
I want to read out this verse because I opened up and I
Now,
thought,
it's like
find this.
she's in the other room doing this at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So yeah, you don't have the balls to do it, fucker.
Bet. Get me the equipment.
I can't. If we try, this little bastard's gonna climb out of the cell and go back to hell.
Then I don't know, grab the next person who walks by.
I can't. Lucine just fucked off.
That's why I said the next one.
See growls out, flips the bullet over, and the little bastard goes in for a second before you hear his very squeaky voice go, "Fireball!" and then the casing just fucking explodes. It explodes and bounces off the energy of the circle. That's the fifth fucking one. They won't keep pulling this shit. God fucking it. Do I have to fucking tranquilize little bastards? Lexi just leans back in her chair, pulls her hat down, just grumbling under her breath at her bad luck. I swear to fuck, I'm sort of the most fucking annoying little bastards I've ever run into among the legions of hell. Fucking fuck it. We'll go see what Lucine's up to. Unless you got any better ideas, Kirov.
Nope, not off my head. But
Uh,
try getting a few Marines drunk and see what they come up with.
we'll get the Marines drunk later. First, she grabs a big lid that when you look at it, it looks like you realize she's duct taped like 5 goddamn crosses to the bottom of it, and just slams it down over the circle. There,
I suppose that's one way to do it.
there. So none of the little bastards crawl out when I'm not looking. But trust me, they would. And then we come back to like 20 imps jammed to the circle, all cursing at us at the same time. And as that's he's just gonna walk. As he says that, you can hear a tiny voice go, "Fuck you, you beneath the lid," and she just flips it off as she walks
That's
out.
what the last 5 said. Get some original material, you dipshit.
I'm having too much fun with these little bastards. Then she just walks out and heads towards Lucine's lab. So, Lucine, describe the current state of Lucine's lab, please.
Books everywhere. Random scribblings that make no sense to anyone else. She picked up from her teacher. She is very much a mad scientist. She can tell where everything is. This technically counts as a library, but the floor is basically the only clear space is the neatly kept ritual circle.
Understandable.
Oh, I know that feeling. The organized chaos sorting method.
Yes.
That's exactly what she's got going on.
So what are you So you're bibbling, right? What are you bibbling first?
I was going to start with the one that was probably the less dramatic of the two.
Which was?
St. George.
Okay. So you get into this and do your normal grab a bunch of books for Biblio. The words this time are in a bit more mocking tone than you're used to. A vain hope, a worthless dream, a plague to fight a plague, kindling to light a flame that pushes back the endless dark. It would leave only cinders and dust in its wake. That's it. That's all you get.
That was useless. I was trying to figure out where the fuck it was.
Doesn't look.
Nothing today.
Doesn't. Maybe there's no samples left. You don't know.
Oh, or where it was researched, but yeah. There is a map in the room that she just, has somewhere in the mess.
What is
But
it?
yeah. And now the bigger one.
I'm gonna wait for Salem to finish typing next because I just realized he started typing. Also, it is understandable that you
Uh-oh.
want an empath, Zell. They are very funny. I'm just gonna let Salem
Don't
finish.
worry, it's just something that Steven will be doing at roughly the same time in the background.
Okay. So Alexis is gonna he's gonna walk in. Is Carol following her still?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as you do the night, as you come down from the Biblio High, the first one, Alexis and Carol walk in, and Alexis looks annoyed at whatever her project was. Was any luck with your stuff so far, Lucine?
Well, the anti-dragon bioweapon seems to be a bust.
How so?
Lucine just repeats what she was told.
Well, that's fucking useless. Then again, I'm not a seer. I
Yep.
don't know. I don't know how the fuck to interpret that. Maybe Sister Sophia might know.
I'll send it over to her at some point.
Fair. Anyways, so so you said there was going to be a dramatic one. What is it?
It's a god.
She's going to very calmly clap her hands together. I'm going to point out, Lucine, the last time you poked something as cosmologically important sounding, the star fucking stared you straight in the eyes.
The only time I poked it was when I tried to literally poke the star.
She's gonna put her on your chair on the kneecaps out and drag you over to your girlfriend.
And then, well, Lucine starts casting, just looks
I need the
fine.
music. What?
Oh dear.
How does this sound again? Doesn't want to play music.
Like playing.
They're not in there. They're diving into the billion and deeper. When you ask your question, the universe is almost hesitant for a second. What is a god? What is the exact wording you use?
What is it that makes a god different from simply a powerful being?
Gods are lies. Lies and stories, told enough times and backed with enough power until they become true, at which point they tell themselves, each in some way, some shape, some form, a rebuttal to man's ancestor, to the truth of their existence. Of all that lived under the stars, there is no race better at God-telling than mankind. That's it.
Fuck? Lucine Lucine basically would have said that whole thing in a trance. A belief creates God. That makes sense. Why are we special?
Probably
Really
because
want
we
to
are
go
very
down.
good at deluding ourselves.
There's a whole fucking cosmos out there, all seeded with life by the Stygian stars. Why is mankind special?
Right, there's probably multiple of the damn. Alexis can grow. I do not want to think about the fact that there's probably multiple of those damn things out there. Thank you very much. Anyway,
This fight's for the universe, not for Earth.
still. Alexis just closes her eyes and murmurs to herself, repeating what you said. I don't know. Free
Written
blood.
down immediately and sent to the rest.
I'm not fucking sure. This not honestly, on the sound of it, this might be something the Fae fucking know for all the fuck I know. She just shrugs. I just have no fucking clue.
Lucine glances at her various piles of junk, snatches up a vial of Strength's blood.
You
Want
just
to
had
find
that
out?
lying around?
I mean, it's like neatly kept somewhere, like, but it in a lead vial.
Okay.
Yes, like it's a lead vial in a vial container, but it is not like in several lock boxes.
Not like how how Alexander keeps everything related to the call.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what are you using it for?
Want to go find Mayor Jane?
Alexis blinks. Okay. Oh, what are you thinking?
Payment.
You want to bribe the Fae again?
Or class? I mean, look, if you they are the only ones with this sort of information, and I have a spare vial.
She stops and thinks. I mean, the Fae are fucking scary, you know?
Or dragons.
Fine, we'll go. Fine. Kirov, what do you. Before we do. Kirov, she's gonna point to you. Kirov, the fuck do you think of all this nonsense?
I ain't paid enough to figure this shit out.
Sometimes I am. Sometimes I envy those who don't use magic. Then I remember they can't use magic. Okay. See you in a moment, Ashley. So Kirov and Lucine, reluctantly followed by Alexis. You go searching for Mayor Jane, right? You find her lounging around one of the tea places at the Undermarket, sipping her tea, poking her head up when she knows you'll come by. Oh,
Lucine's had another idea.
she's gonna slowly turn her head towards Lucine. Lucine, the last time you had a idea, you made a pact with the Fae that would blow up your soul.
Don't regret that.
She's going to put her cup down, clap both of her hands together, and that's kind
Also,
of
it wasn't my idea to go talk to them. You were the one who said that we might be able to get that seed from them.
yes. It was my idea. You were the one who decided to agree to the soul pact, though.
Better I die on my terms than on on the dragon's terms.
She just sighs at that. Fair enough. Anyways, what are you trying to look for this time?
Oh, I was doing another bibliolalia, and yes, this one's going to go to the full team, but I figured I should probably talk to you first. Because
Hmm?
Alexis had an idea. Lucine repeats
You go first.
what was actually said in the bibliolalia, and then what Alexis said about maybe the Fae know. They're the ones with the weird cosmos knowledge.
Mayor Jane picks her cup up, just gulps it down in one sitting. this sounds like the kind of thing they'd be cagey about. You do realize, right?
She also. I'm pretty sure I overpaid in the last bargain, so I think they should be willing to grant me audience for free. And then, well, I've got some
No,
pretty good payment for this one, too.
they won't.
But also, this might just. Okay, then let's see. How much. Can't. Let's see, what other shit do I have to pay with? I don't think they want raw dragon's blood. That alone won't pay for an audience. Is there a way to offer them a deal without directly reaching out and requiring them to come to us?
She tilts her head.
A way to get
Yes,
audience without having to pay for it like we did last time.
yes, but it's risky because
In what way?
we'll basically have to invite them into Under Boston.
They are
I can
bound by the
see
rules of
why that would
hospitality.
be risky.
On the other hand, they should stay bound by the rules of hospitality.
Yes, but on the other hand, they are very, very judgmental. And okay, to be honest, we would have to, if we wanted to do this safely, we would need to make a proper embassy to the Fae and make it so it doesn't offend them.
And that's a whole thing.
Yes. And the reason we need to make the proper embassy is very simply so they can't just wander around and try to trick people into trick people.
That checks out. And that's probably not something simple, let alone fast.
No, it needs to look high quality, or else they're going to be offended by the Saudi craftsmanship, and probably taking this excuse to throw the wild hunt at us to kill you.
The number two that I made that deal, so they don't have as much reason to do that.
Yeah, that is fair, but I just don't want to give them easy access to Under Boston, to be honest.
Don't blame you. I just wanted to know if there was an alternative, because having to pay for audience, we don't have enough Arc Dragon's blood to pay for audiences and for information.
Alexis is going to tilt her head back, going to cough behind you. I mean, we could try paying them with information. Is there information?
That's a good idea.
Marian's is just going to hum, just thinking.
Any clue what kind of information they'd want?
Probably something, if I had to guess, likely something related to the call.
Do they know about the bloodlines?
Potentially, I'm not entirely sure. The only thing my grandfather's records and such say is that the Fae were is that the Fae were is that the Fae were extremely angry with an extremely obscure human organization because that organization took something from them.
Probably related to whatever the fuck happened to the Shrine of Promised Victory.
He nods.
Don't know what else is going on, but that's just gotta be part of it.
Yes, probably. Still, yes, pay them for information is likely the best way to go about it. Information about the call more specifically. She stops. The Fae don't have access to the Vatican archives.
They also don't have access to my bloodline book.
Correct. Alexander made
definitely
photo.
made a copy.
Did someone just pop in the dial? Just someone pop in. Give me a sec. No, it's just someone muting themselves. Okay.
I just said Alexander's definitely made a copy.
Yes. Double check that he has. We might be able to. Honestly, do we have a copy of the? Honestly, they might be interested in the Scarlet Queen's one. We know that they have a feud with the Star, and she's effectively its direct descendant.
I need to roll a wisdom check.
Roll a wisdom check.
That's probably good enough. Io would murder me if I gave them that.
Fair enough.
She'll call me an idiot if I do it with my own bloodline. She'd be murder. She'd kill me if I did it with someone she considered a friend.
She nods at that. Fair enough. Yeah, yes, a photocopy, potentially confirmation on how the occultist Apocrypha broken. That might be enough to pay for the meeting.
And then Strength's blood is that combined with, and then Strength's blood for the information.
She nods. Exactly. I'll go prepare this festival tea. You
I'll
go
go
get the
grab the copy.
See nods. How are we at the places last time?
Lucine goes to Alexander, requests a copy of my bloodline book.
When you find him, he is when you find him, he is doing something with the scales of the dragon you've captured. Oh, copy of your bloodline book? What for?
Bargaining.
Are you talking to the Fae?
Yep.
The Fae are fucking creepy. You do realize that, right?
Would you rather Sion did it?
I hate how that's a valid point. I do have a copy. Give me a second. He pulls the copy out of the lockbox and very carefully passes it to Lucine. I hope you know what you're doing.
We've got we're paying for safety. If they reject the information deal, then that's still safe enough.
Nods. Good luck.
And honest, they already know they already have leverage over me that I want them to have. They're not going to see me as more of a threat because of this, I don't think.
He nods. Fair enough. Actually, this is sounding like a terrible idea, but you might want to grab Sion for it. Sion for this, just so you have another person with you besides someone with you who's capable of linguistics. Apologies, girl, but I don't think you do well talking to the Fae.
Sion may
Alexis is with
be
Mayor
in
Jane
the state
prepping things, I
currently.
think.
Don't interrupt
Or
people.
was Alexis not going to?
First, don't
Sorry.
interrupt
Is
people.
Alexis going to come along?
First, don't interrupt people. Sion was talking first.
I think we both started at the same time, but fair.
Sion?
Sion may or may not be in the state currently, but she would be back in about 5 minutes. If
Wait,
she is gone.
wait.
If she isn't gone, then she is there to go.
Wait, what do you mean she might be gone?
She may be in a different location for a short period of time.
Where?
A random place for the purpose of being random.
I don't believe you.
No, like literally, I literally picked it as a random place because she specifically needs a random place in
Okay.
case certain measures were taken.
Okay.
Oh, in case the Scarlet Queen tried shit back.
Oh no, it's just because she thinks it's the metaphorical equivalent of blocking a number.
I see. Okay.
Sion using caller ID spoofing.
Sion being
Telepathy VPN.
telepathy VPN. Sion being fucking relentless in in her self-appointed task of harassing the local Ark Dragon. I don't know what you gain from this besides my suffering. Is
That
that
is
really?
reward enough.
Okay, anyways, yeah. You have the book you've seen. Alexis finds the Fae extremely creepy. She will not go unless she absolutely has to.
I'll basically ask Jane and Alexis, being fully honest. Someone else along, probably a good idea. Are you or Sion the worst idea?
Alexis, I'm good at dealing with demons. I'm good at dealing with people I know are trying to be dickbags. I don't understand how the fuck the Fae work. I don't know their thought process. They scare the fuck out of me. I really don't want to get kidnapped by the Fae.
Alright, Sion it is.
Mayor Dane is just going to side dimension. Are you bringing along Sion? I'll go get a shotgun and some cold iron balls then. Anyways, so how soon are you going to be done that, Sion? It's been going for like the last 30 minutes, I think.
Almost done.
Define almost
Oh
done.
no.
Like it's the last paragraph, and this is just going to be like another sentence or two.
Okay. But yeah, Marion's gonna go do the prep as we wait for Sion to show up. Doing whatever the fuck she's doing in the background, besides giving me a headache.
I'm just saying, I will use Sion's prank calling to tactical advantage at some point.
I know.
No, if Sion's a demon, can't we just summon her?
Theoretically, yes.
We could. We could. I don't know what her summoning circle is yet. I have to go look into that.
Also, we
Or you
don't
could
have
probably
that
just ask her.
If we ask her, Sion's going to make it the most chuny thing imaginable.
Is that a bad thing?
Wait, when did you get here?
Oh, I think I literally just forgot to announce that I got back.
I meant in character.
Oh, I thought that talk about most shitty thing was out of character.
I mean, you did see them leave the lab district. That is a good way to just explain my ass was there. So you saw them.
You know what? How about it's like Ashley just noticed them right now?
You know what the fuck that works. Yes, he noticed. So he noticed him as he was heading towards the lab to go work on the premium some more. That works.
Yeah.
Hello, Ashley.
And there's no room in which Alexis, Kirov, Lucine, and Mayor Jane ends well.
I would personally never meet the Fae face to face. To be honest, Mayor Jane says calmly. I do not want to go. I do not want to do that. I do not want to deal with them trying to slap chains onto my wrist. Fair slayers. I haven't been subtle about that. Fair slaving bastards. You guys know this. Knowing her, she's obviously going to find that she's just going to find a right full metal alchemist circle and use it instead. I know. Knowing her, I've given you an idea, haven't I? I don't like that silence.
It's honestly completely insane and would make sense if it completely fails, at which point she would shrug and just go back. But if it works, it will be a wonderful chain of logic.
Okay, I am deeply concerned now.
Have you ever thought about altering an incantation so that while
Sorry,
you
go.
are casting it, it's technically being cast by someone else, according to the spell itself?
What the fuck?
What?
Oh god, she's literally spoofing the.
Basically, to get past any possible defenses, her plan is to essentially rework bibliophilia so that while she is the one casting it, she is only doing this as a favor, as a temporarily indebted servant to the Scarlet Queen. And in sending this message, which is actually answering a request the Scarlet Queen gave her on their last communication, she is inherently fulfilling and burning out any obligations therein. And since it is not her casting it as the Scarlet Queen would have no reason to instinctively refuse the universe, which she thinks and is inclined to believe is inherently leading her to victory, or at least one of her kind, due to its very nature as entropically doomed. Naturally, why would she resist revelation that she thinks is her due? And that revelation will, of course, once she actually accepts it, simply be all of
See,
that.
I'm just staring at that. I'm just staring blankly at that as I process your train of thought. First, what the fuck, Sion?
Outcast, I would like to say that's like an entire thick chapter at the least of text, and I am here for it.
Sion,
You have to read this, you know.
Sion, why are you so devoted to trolling this? Just to trolling her? Why? What did I do to you?
exist. You befriended her. That was your first mistake.
I like her though. Okay. So you're basically slamming Bibliola and in telepathy into the same thing.
Yes, I am essentially casting on her behalf Bibliophilia to know exactly what I would communicate with her if I was trying to communicate with her.
Let me look at yours. What the? What the fuck?
I don't even know if that works.
I have the action points to make it work. I'll pass by on average.
Roll arcane lore. Roll arcane lore.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Knowledge, right? Theology and arcane lore.
That's one off from a crit. That's one off from a crit. What the fuck? Did you just? Did you just put an action point to make that crit?
Yes.
I'm suffering over here from the consequences of my own past decisions. So you're reverse casting Bibliophilia on her.
Yes. Using a familiar bond that only exists in her head due to her own idiosyncrasies that also won't exist the moment it's done.
Are you? I assume you stole the. I assume you stole the feather again.
No, actually, in this case, she is using their shared nature as carriers of the draconic blood from the same rough geographic area. She genuinely doesn't care if this literally goes out to every dragon that turned within the tri-state area.
Only one word for that. What in the Doofenshmirtz?
What the fuck's he on? I stopped paying attention for you for like 30 minutes. You do this. What the fuck?
This is how
I
men just
can't
roll.
get-
One of us is the distraction for the other, and it's a gamble which is worse.
I love this.
That's a 49 into crit.
No, it's a 52 and a crit.
I guess it works.
Naturally, she will then teleport off Mount. Which one did I pick? Mount Albert before it gets vaporized.
Okay, so we're going to sidestep the main plot for a second because are you going to actually read that out loud, or are you just... Oh fuck, there's more. Oh fuck, there's more.
Okay.
I was just looking at the bottom bit. Why is there more?
I was exaggerating when I described its size.
I thought you were.
Did you not realize there were 3 posts?
No, I didn't realize there were 3 posts. What the fuck, Theon?
And no, this isn't a message that's given over time. This is the sum total comprehension of all of these words being spoken, delivered in one moment, so there's no time to cancel mid-message.
Nobody's as terrifying as I am. He's just less practical about it.
I am... What the fuck? If you could see my face right now.
I mean this as a compliment. What the fuck?
What the fuck, Theon? Why are you like this?
Because it brings a smile to your faces. Anyway, do you want me to read it out?
I think all of us would take sand damage if you did.
I'm already taking
Do it!
sand.
You coward!
No. I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride.
Do it?
It is a good pain.
Do it. I'm suffering over here. I'm suffering from my own accents. I don't like it.
Someone's gonna have to explain this to me, Ho. Not it.
Not it. Lucine, you do it. You're getting thrown under the bus. You're getting thrown under the bus. You do it.
Oh, I already did.
Oh my fucking god.
I just copied the whole thing into the text channel.
Why are you like this? I'm
It's the fastest way to get it done.
I'm just staring at my knees in utter disbelief at this.
Ho ho, friendly Dregan, her scarletness, her angriness, she who is not in control of the realm defense grid, nor is trying to catfish the draconic embodied concept of opposition, lies, deception, and being a Bond villain. Hope you're having a good day. I was quite happy with how our conversation yesterday went, so I thought I'd change the format a bit to try and make it even better. Or horribly worse. We know how that goes. Anyway, I was hoping to give you a more concise, direct, and well thought out statement of intent than before, where I was, apologies, due, a bit off the cuff. So, for conversational topics, I'm kind of curious. Are you into dragons now? In that way? Because I figure that with the dragon factor changing your brain and soul around, it'd probably touch on that. Well, we all know that guards are the living proof that dragons are into humans. You'd think that dragons are also into dragons. Now, sure, I know dragons don't reproduce like that. Probs, unless you've been holding out on me. But since your new kind are usually made from humans and magic folk, you'd think they'd keep that aspect, if only because the fact that they let you keep your self-pitying size means it's not just like tossing out all the shit that doesn't serve a function. Anyway, if that's the topic, I was curious how your cultists are treating you. I know you've given away your dignity and pride, but you should at least get some cults willing to wait on you, give up their earthly possessions, and offer hearts and the severed heads in their thousands. So how are they treating you? Also, how does it feel to be the cause of a religious schism? Normally these days, that sort of thing only happens when priests start bitching over the tense of a single word 2 languages back in translation. But here, you're like usurping their god, I think. I mean, you didn't explicitly say you were planning to eat the star. Not straight out, anyway. At least, not until everything else but the dragons are dead and it's Thunderdome time. But for the cults, kinda impressive, not gonna lie. Unless it was like some sort of conceptual thing of, we worship the idea of dragons as entropy embodied cult. In which case, I gotta question your case a little bit. But at least you have them worshipping properly. None of that. Oh, I almost lost track. Let's go back to it. Oh, yeah, but at least you have them worshipping properly now. None of that unpersonified platonic ideal shit. Fair enough. I can forgive the attempt at omnicide between friends, but I'm going to be much more troubled if you're encouraging some weird dumbass shit like that. Also, I really do like how you're doing your hair in your Kanomini form. It's really kawaii. Though, have you considered twin tails? I'm biased, but I think the Robin look would look good on you. Not the outfit, though. Doing a bit too much on your senpai. Anyway, say hi to your boy toys and girlfriends for me. I know they're working super hard for their Empress, and while I'm probably killing a few and hopefully eating at least some of their souls, I consider them honorary comrades of
Why are you
mine in
like
the struggle
this?
to realize you are, platonically.
This was
My
a
body might be
mistake.
powerful. We'll try in the next century, but probably not. Anyway, love and kisses. Keep safe, homie.
Why are you like this? This was a mistake. Why?
Hey, Coach, remember that discussion about the start of the session about how the Scarlet Queen was being debated about whether she was a narrative major threat? I think she's been neutered.
Okay, so first thing's gonna happen. The moment you send that Sion, like 5 feet in front of you, the ground turns pitch fucking black, and you start seeing a claw reaching out of the ground and start pulling something through.
She's hopping on her feet excitedly, looking like a
It's an
Wait, is there a
assassin.
ley line on Mount? Is there a
She
ley line on Mount
waves,
Elder?
blows a kiss.
More specifically, it's an assassin. It's carrying a brick of C4.
Fortunately, I have an action prepared for that. Shift to the ethereal plane and move inside the mountain.
You hear an explosion, and then when you poke your head back up, the assassin's fucking leaving.
At that, she goes back up, goes back into the material plane, waves again, and says, "I'm a man or my lady. I do not judge. Anyway, hope you're having a good day too, and bye." And then she teleports back to our
You
wonderful.
should have said one more thing before you go. Acronym.
Psychological torture is a true strike.
What did you expect bargaining with a demon?
Psychological torture is a true strike. Anyways, the moment she. The moment Sion gets back in Ascalon, she's gonna get a sending that basically goes, "Don't pull this shit again, and I won't consider it a tree strike."
She quickly scrolls out, and over the period of 5 minutes, another ritual circle that's the normal telepathy, and then sends back. That's awesome, my friend. You already have that level of spell? I knew it. Kinda jealous, not gonna lie. You do have draconism, but that level of magic is cool.
She doesn't fucking respond. She doesn't respond. At that point, Alexis kicks the door to your lab open. Sion, what the fuck have you been doing this time?
I've been
Lucine is also
talking
with
to a
her.
friend and bonding.
Sion,
Oh,
what the
okay. Lucine does not realize how horribly you've done chaos. She just thinks you're doing the usual.
Alex just staring at Sion. Sion, why do I have the feeling you've done something fucking horrible?
From some people's
Because you have
perspective,
common
but
sense.
Anyway,
to be
Sion,
honest,
you
if
want to go
someone
talk to
was
the
there
Fae?
in sense mode, it would come off, even if like you got a literal crit 100 in sense mode, if it would legitimately come off as if Sion is completely honest there. She sincerely thinks this is just what friends do.
Friends didn't.
Friends can do a little psychological torture sometimes, I think.
If I had a nickel for every time I have a party I'm in has trolled a dragon with telepathy into a victory, I'd have 2 nickels.
You are not quoting difference for fat meat. Anyways, proceed.
So, Sion, you want to go talk to the Fae?
Sure. I will contain myself to purely honorable and non-friendly topics.
Thank you. He does convey the actual situation to Sion as they walk back to Mayor Jane.
Well, if we have to sell your soul, I'm sure we'll get a good price for it.
You're
Why
not
are you?
selling my soul. It's also not even that valuable because it is liable to self-destruct.
Yeah, but they could always keep you in a vault and hope the value appreciates over time.
Do they realize I can self-destruct myself? Well, of course they do. I can
They can
self-destruct
also
myself,
put you
though.
unconscious or asleep.
Then that's not a problem.
Just
trick you
let
into thinking
Sion
you're
do
dreaming
her
when you're
thing.
I
Or they could flay your skin from your body, turn it into a rug that still transmits pain to your flayed body, and knock that unconscious while keeping just enough of your mind aware that you constantly feel all the pain.
Alexa's going to stop. Sion? Sion?
Yes.
Do not bring that up when talking to the Fae.
I guess they don't like suggestions. To be honest, I'm actually just quoting a semi-famous author from, I think, the 70s? They had, like, Osiris do that, which is weird because he was otherwise chill in the book. But then he just has the rug. Anyway, let's go.
They are not tortured. No, again.
Mayor Jane is at the place. Once at the place, drinking your tea, looking extremely perturbed when you walk in with Sion. Oh, you're actually bringing her.
I have already given my word that I will maintain purely honorable and non-friendly conduct.
Define
Since
honorable.
apparently friends people can't.
She's
Not
dealt with
insulting
the
them.
Fae. You can't play weasel words, Sion.
Yes, I know. They're always going to be slightly better at it than you, and only slightly because they're arrogant like that.
Jane? She knows how mad Io will be if she causes me to get hurt.
Fine, that works. You know the routine. Drink the tea. Drink the tea.
And naturally, at that point, she drinks the tea.
Once the entire party.
Jane also.
So just to
drinks the
confirm, this
tea.
time around, it's Sion, Lucine, Kirov.
Coming?
Is Ashley coming as well?
Ashley doesn't really want to have anything to do with the Fae. The longer she goes without a misstep there, the better in her eyes.
Okay, so just Sion. Kirov's coming, right?
I think so, even though I'm probably not going to have much to say. I'm just there if shit goes south.
Understandable. See, 3 people, same as before. You wake Sion, Lucine. You wake up. It's the same goddamn places you met the previous guy. Met the Fae before.
I'm expecting someone higher this time because of just how crazy things got for them last time.
Give me a second to find a token.
Not sure if we'll get a queen, but
No, you get the entire Unseelie court.
Give me a second, I'm trying to find something. Fuck is it? Fuck is it? I knew I had it somewhere. Did I not fucking upload it? Fuck. Give me a second, I'm fighting the laws of reality. Also, again, what the fuck, Ceiling? Why are you likeless?
Like what?
also,
actually
Toast,
not
I am going
typing,
to
I
point
am
out,
just-
genuinely, if you have the Scarlet Queen not consider it a truth break when Sion does it the next time, she loses all threat level.
I know, that's why I know, that's why I know. I know, that's
Looks
why
like Sion's gonna force the plot.
and it's the
Actually,
vibe
next time she is
I was
literally
trying to go
just going
for.
to
I was
ask
trying to go for. I was trying to go for something very specific once he did that.
I mean, to be honest, with the odds are she'll probably just ask next time whether she cooks the humans before she eats them.
Now, I realize I think there's one quote that's pretty fitting here. God forbid women do anything.
Shut. Sion exists to make me suffer for my hubris. This is known. Okay, I guess fuck it, I'll just make the token down and upload and flash upload it. Give me a second.
At least I haven't done funny chemical warfare to the dragons yet.
Please repeat that sentence again.
Chemical warfare
The last word.
to the dragons.
That's not the last word.
Yet.
That's what I thought. After a couple seconds, where I assume Sion's just reminiscing about what the fuck he just did.
Yes.
Another, a different individual than before just flutters up from the mess below the island, calmly walking on top. This one's taller, more lengthy, willowy frame. Same solid green eyes as before, though, looking over each of you. Oh, it's you again. You again, I've heard of you. What is it you seek?
We come seeking information. In payment for audience, we offer you information of our own. Lucine slides the book forward.
The fairy carefully picks the book up. Opens it, slowly starts paging through. Information on the second oldest enemy, I see. Appreciate it. List is acceptable. What information exactly are you looking for?
In communion with the universe, we discovered this phrase. Lucine repeats the whole spiel. And we thought to ask the oldest we know a question. Why is mankind special?
The fairy stops for a second, tilting their head back, long blonde hair falling to the ground behind them.
And
Very
Lucine does pause. And of course, we have payment for the information on its own.
good. As for why mankind is special, it is very, very simple. When the Dragon Lord devastated when the Dragon Lord devastated our world as it fled. It took what left of the brood it gathered there with it. When it arrived on this world, it proceeded to devour them and feed their flesh and blood to the bacteria it carried with it in order to kickstart the process of new life. Then, with it from its slumber, the beast put a claw on the scales of evolution, attempting to forge a race like us in its image. The result was mankind. All that latent power with nowhere to go can do very interesting things.
Why would the rest of the universe not have had the same phenomena?
The rest, from what we have gathered, the answer is very simple. The dragons do not properly see life often. Typically, what happens is they let the background processes of the universe of magic and life engineer the rise of sapiens without any effort on their end. Then a dragon lord like the one that ravaged both our world and this one descends upon their world to harvest them.
Why did it want a species so like you?
Oh, that is very simple. The Fae are the only the Fae are the only we believe are the only thing to have ever hurt it.
A singular dragon lord, or any of them at all?
We do not know.
That much is fair. Lucine wants more info and knows she cannot afford more info at the moment.
If Fae's
And
going to
then,
tilt its head to the other direction, I can sense you have more questions.
but I have not the. But unless the blood of the dragon of strength is enough, I believe I have not the payment for them, and I do believe I would prefer to avoid debts.
Understandable. May I examine the blood?
You may.
They very carefully take it, looking it over. I believe the queens. This, combined with your previous arrangements, allow you to ask the cost of whatever information you seek.
How did you hurt it?
The face stops for a second, closing its eyes and taking in a slow, deep breath. The price for that, it is simply the knowledge of how you seek. Yes?
Lucine, it is the knowledge, yes. We are aware it has something to do with sacrifice given truly willing and freely.
Mm, if you seek to know, the Arc Dragon, I believe you call them, the one that stalks the world and layers in the British Islands. bring us its head.
Hmm.
The beast has proven a nuisance.
I make no promises of its head, but we will certainly try to slay it.
It nods at that. Anything else?
If that will be all.
Nods. Goodbye, little abomination. Take care not to die.
That is the
At that, it just flies off.
Oh, I think that went rather well.
It did. By the way, I will quickly clarify. Lucine cutting herself off there was actually somewhat in character.
Oh, what was he going to? What was he going to say?
I almost said that's the goal.
Ah,
Yes, that was intentional.
Ghost knows what I'm doing. This is just an accidental hint for everyone else that just kind of happened.
I love it.
Yes.
So,
We will, I believe then we wake up and are going to need to call a meeting next. Well, okay, Coast, for the sake of planning, is it possible to scry the Hellspawn Dragon? Let's start there.
no.
If the scry fails,
The scry fails. Specifically,
we assume
what happens is you scry and you get a face full of static.
Predictable in hindsight.
Well, predictable, and it means we can't do shit.
But
Well,
yes,
we could always just nuke Europe into glass.
We do not have that many nukes, or any.
you don't have any nukes. What the fuck do you mean that many nukes? You don't have any nukes.
I said or any. If
I've-
that's
I've-
the case, it is simply not possible. We have no information or ways to get information to pursue.
Well, we'll probably have nukes if we go and kill Weapon first.
We need to deal with Oscar, and then we need to deal with the Scarlet Queen because we apparently broke the fucking truce.
No, she specifically
Not
said
yet.
that she won't do it if I don't do that again, and I clearly won't do that again.
Lot of the
You
law
two
I'm
have
hearing.
very different definitions of that.
Alexa's going to look. Alexa's going to look.
What
This
did
is
she
out-
expect? Making a deal with a
This
demon.
is out of character.
Anyways,
Because Lucine doesn't know what the fuck Sion did.
Understood. Once you all wake up and give this passing information along, Lex is going to frown. Okay, fucking. Great. For fuck's sake. I'm too fucking tired. I'm too fucking awake for this. I want to get drunk. I'm gonna go fucking see if
Kirov
the big.
just hands her a beer.
No, I'm gonna go see if the big gun has any
You're
of the
going to
good
have-
shit from hell.
You're going to have to. If there's going to be a full briefing as soon as we can get EO to wake up.
Yeah. I'm gonna have called the session off there if everyone's good with that.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
Good or
Feels like a good endpoint.
Yep.
We are not going to be able to pursue Hellspawn, which means we are going into the ocean stuff.
Yep, and I'll be doing this stuff. Anyways, so yeah. Give me a second.
Time for battleships.
But first, I need to do my end of stream stuff. So everyone just mute yourselves for a moment, please. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good night. Thank you for coming. All that stuff. Plans for this week are pretty simple. No Lancer on Tuesday, so I might do something random then. I'm not sure what. This Saturday, I'm going to be picking up where we last left off, Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, and see if we can if we can get any closer to the surface and that. And that's it for this week. This is just a pretty chill week so far, I think. Yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a good time, and good night.